Hello, this is Naomi Smalls, and join me as I go through my AS4 looks. To All Stars 4. At this time, I was 25 years old. I thought I was ready to go back on television. And I mean, I guess I was ready. I was like itching for it. I was a little offended when they didn't ask me for All Stars 3. But honestly, thank God, because I wasn't ready. I don't even know if I was ready for this one because I'm a completely different bitch now. But life would not be the way it is now unless I did this little stint on VH1 with RuPaul's Drag Race season 4 of All Stars. So today I'm going to be looking back at when I was 25 years old. I was living in Chicago. I thought I knew everything about drag, but I'm sure just like all these other reviews, I'm going to be reading myself because I don't do anything but look back at myself and critique myself because I am a honest, critical, cutthroat bitch. Join me today as I go through everything. If you want to see the entire collection from All Stars 4, make sure you tune into the Patreon, patreon.com/Naomi Smalls. And if you're stingy and only want to see these, thanks for watching. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Today I tapped into my All Stars 4 promo. The theme was, I believe it was like iridescent winter or iridescent. It was iridescent. I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted this fabric to be incorporated. This is a look that Dallas created. I think it was Jordan that created the little like holographic flowers, and Natasha did the stoning. The number one thing I was like weary about when we're shooting the promo was what hairstyle to do, because as you know, I just think a little too much about the hair. I don't know if it's from going to cosmetology school when I was 18 years old or if it's just, I just think that hair is the best accessory. The person I trusted to ask about like, what do you think would be impactful once I had like the photo of the dress, the reference and all that jazz was Violet. She was like, I like you best in middle part and custom clips away from the face. Thank you, Violet, because I do still stand by this wig. I would wear this wig just with a non-circular hairline. But thank you, Roxy Andrews, for giving me this wig. I remember when this came out, we had a lot of slow motion shots of us like hitting the axe. We actually shot the promo over 2 days. And the first shot was when we had like the whole cast. The second day was more like solo. I didn't clean my lace front for the second day, and you can legit see like a brown circle around my forehead for the Meet the Queens. Hate that so much. It made me feel good when I got home and Meatball was like, oh, I mean, you like slayed it. I could see that there was like a real person in there. And that was like one of the biggest compliments I think that I could get. I'm just kidding. Could you imagine? Because I hate being in front of the camera when it's like a bunch of strangers around you. It's just like, I don't feel like you really get a full, honest me sometimes. But maybe I'm just like I wasn't as comfortable as I am now. I knew I'd be talking about this dress one day. She's barely holding on, but she zips. And let's celebrate that. Walking into the workroom, All Stars 4. I was so happy I wasn't first. This is Periwinkle Puss. This is a look by Dallas. This is a wig by Wigs and Grace, and a bunch of accoutrements by my crazy ass in my hotel room at 4 a.m. before walking in here. This was a brand new corset, and I needed it to be like closed. Even though there was going to be a garment completely on top of it, I just needed my waist to be like tiny. But since we had been waiting around since like early in the morning to walking in, and then after, and then after, and after, and after, and after, I used to wear fishnets. So it was like fishnet up to my waist, and then corset over that, and then the garment on top of that. But I had like blisters in the shape of the grid of the fishnet. So after I got back to the hotel, I was just like legit popping the blisters. This ooey gooey pus leaking out in the shape of fishnets. So disgusting. Todd is the one who gave me my entrance line. He was like, you should say you can't spell legendary without legs. And if you know Todd, he's like this like straight guy. And just like hearing him say that, I was like, okay, he means it. And I think I still get to date. People come to the meet and greet and still like say it and love. If you're coming to my meet and greet, please do not ask me to put my leg up on your shoulder. I did this in the past. I'm not going to do it again. So if you got it in the past, hold on to those photos because I will tell you no. But I knew I wanted to show off the legs. And this is still, I feel like I was in my like monochromatic pastel fantasy that I don't ride for anymore. I actually like the season 8 entrance way better. Periwinkle puss in a strappy sandal without, what do they call me? The shrimp cocktails. Without the shrimp cocktails.
Naomi Smalls looks really cunty, but she does have cliffhangers. Boner killer.
A little bit of improvement, but dear God, I would never wear this wig again. Moving on to Pose. There's so much drama around Pose. I feel like I have to have a drink when it comes to Pose. Shoulders back, hips forward, Pose. Always be in style. Helps if your legs are longer than a mile. Shoulders back. Find your light. Give them a little bit of ass. Pose. I never, ever, ever, ever wanted to do music. I'm just like not that kind of girl. But like, I will say the creation of Pose and the music video and being able to like tour around and like have like a song that was iconic and unique and familiar to me without having to like lip sync to like a pop star on the radio. It was a really good feeling and made me like actually want to explore more into music. This is a track created by Cameron Tracks, Todd Diedrich, and myself. And this album cover is by Gay Garb and edited by Martin, shot by Adam. God, I fucking hate the legal annoyance that happened with Pose. I was sued for this song because it had like a 0.75 second whoop in it that was apparently a sample from some song in the 80s that just, it really started like a whirlwind of like, I fucking never want to do music ever again. But Pose, I've been saying this for years, she will be back on streaming. We have a legal version, but just haven't had the right moment to do it. So I think that going into All Stars 4, I kind of knew what the main judging panel kind of like thought of me because I had already done a season with them and I'm a fan of Drag Race, so I feel like I can kind of like gauge what the judges like. I knew that if I did something fierce and fresh and fun and gorgeous, it would have been ridiculed for being too gorgeous. I needed to make them laugh because everyone loves to be fucking silly and dumb and stupid these days.
It feels like at one point in time, someone said, "You're just so stupid, and we love that you're such a dummy." And now a lot of girls are like trying to make being stupid, stupid, random, and like dumb. Like, it feels like they're like forcing themselves to be like stupid. Oh, you're so stupid, which is a compliment that's been given to some people, but like that's not everyone's ministry.
Wow,
And
that is
Megami
such
was like,
a very poignant observation. I love that. For real. I hate that too.
I did a hair reveal that was inspired by a Gareth Pugh show, and Cynthia from Rugrats was like kind of like the inspo. And thank God, because it made them laugh. I was in the top for this episode. I think my biggest regret is not just like if I had to do this all over again, there's no way in hell I probably would have worn this like bald cap reveal without doing like a prosthetic bald cap. I just knew that I still to date take like 5 hours to get ready, and I knew in the workroom we didn't have that opportunity, so I just opted for like a more like ready to wear bald cap kind of a moment. But Gabe killed this, and Gloria, I asked her to do a style that I'm sure she's never done before, Uncle Fester. Pose Pose, pose, pose. Episode 1. Episode 2, we had to be in girl groups, like pop star girl groups. It was myself, Monet, Mo Hart, Farrah, and HENNY, Stacey Lane Matthews. Stacey was so fun to work with. Doing the choreography for this was not fun just because I think there was like too many cooks in the kitchen, and Mo Hart was the choreographer slash team captain. Was just like not a really good mix with Farrah, who was like just needed a lot more like, I don't know, coddling in order for her to like get on stage. Like I remember us having like a 12-minute debate over like which wig and what shoe she was gonna wear when we hadn't even like written our verses yet. I don't even know if I know the verse off the top of my head. Oh yeah. Legs, that's what you know me for, but believe there's more walking through that door. I'm fierce. Yes, I know that. And I'm hung like a mother tucking baseball bat. Strutting all night.
Getting all tight.
Feeling all tight, something like that. What the hell is an appetite? Fashion love is what I crave. Bitch, I'm here. Yes, I'm brave. Something like that. I think it was Sierra, which on the judging panel, which was everything. And Christina and I definitely have like a vivid memory of being in middle school and like being home. I think I told her this, like printing the 1-2 step lyrics out and like bringing them to school so we could like memorize and learn them verbatim. This was when Casey Musgraves was also on the panel, and I have never seen a wig as thick as the one that Casey Musgraves was wearing on this episode ever again on Drag Race. So props to that, competitors included. I am wearing I think this is actually Michael and I's first full look. This is like a pink and green rhinestone Versace inspo 2-piece. I think Michael just asked me like, oh, do you need anything else? And I said pop star, and bam. I am in Chicago. It is freezing ass cold. I am wearing a ready to wear wig. Dear God, I probably gave this to Bijou Bentley as well. I loved working with gay garb for a lot of the graphics that came from All Stars. The thing that people don't really talk about very often is the only reason that RuPaul's Drag Race queens do this these days, like show their looks or what I would have worn on this season, is because of Kimchi. On season 8, Kim is the first queen to ever document her looks and post them like when the episodes were airing. Kimchi, you are an innovator. Snatch Game. I think Snatch Game was something that I tried to go in this time being a lot more prepared. On season 8, it was like atrocious doing Tiffany Pollard, and it landed me in the bottom.
$800 weave.
Naomi's New York.
So I knew I needed to like one-up myself and learn from my mistakes. I think that what you have to do with Snatch Game is you have to do somebody that you know like the back of your hand. And during this time, I had just gotten into, because I didn't really like, in high school, I didn't really like obsess over Wendy Williams. It wasn't until, it must have been like 2017, 2016 that my friend Ryan showed me like just a compilation of Wendy Williams, and it was like literally love at first sight. Even though it wasn't the first time I ever saw her, but it was like just seeing her in that format of like YouTube edited down. Dylan, if you're still out there, we miss you uploading the compilations.
New York is 33 years old. I know, that's a hard 33, right? Look at her ring. Do you like it? It's Art Deco. It's not my taste, but it's cute. It's her second one, you know. She's been married before. She posted the caption, "My baby love and I are engaged." Let's move on. This is as phony as a $3 bill. Look, the follicles are too big and dark. You know what this probably is? Probably like a mustache. Like if it's a face to the side, then the eyes would be right here and the chin's down there. This is like a mustache, and she just stuck it up there to be provocative and get us talking. So she's provoking and we're talking. I guess it works. I don't know whether I'd want to walk like her or Naomi Campbell, because she got a mean walk also, you know, Naomi Campbell.
I have seen every single one probably like 12 times over. And Wendy Williams is just someone I knew that would probably kill Snatch Game. This is the first year that they ever did like a different format of Snatch Game, which of course, my fucking luck, there would be a different version of it. But for some reason, somehow, I knew to come head to toe ready. Like I knew to have like Wendy's like little flats that she has to wear because of, you know, Graves' disease, her lymphoma, or lymphedema. Yeah, her lymphedema.
Oh, yeah.
Bob is the one that coached me because since like Bob helped me out with getting ready for All Stars 4 in very many ways. She kind of prepped me for like the rhythm that Snatch Game can have and like how to know your character, where to punch. And we had like so many other props and bits that were prepared for this, but since this was the first time that Snatch Game was not just like a panel, it was like you literally were like sitting on a stool, like perched, like you couldn't like hide your props behind under your chair or anything like that. So that was annoying. I had so much fun doing the Snatch Game of Love, and I felt way more confident leaving. I was dying laughing next to Monet Exchange, who was doing Whitney Houston, and I just loved, like, she was tanking.
Hello, RuPaul!
And she knew she was tanking, and we were just like side-eyeing each other and laughing about it.
Yes!
I fell in front of Gus Kenworthy.
Hi, Wendy.
I can stand by Wendy Williams and be like, bitch, you did that, especially in comparison to Tiffany Pollard. And especially in comparison to Barbara Streisand. There, I said it. This dress I found at Ross, Dress for Less, along with the flats, and which feels very Wendy. She loves a deal. She loves a bargain. Full prices for suckers. And Bob actually is the one that helped me like polyfill these tits into being able to be a capital P. Because Wendy Williams always says if she turns to the side, she's a capital P. Big tits, no ass, a P.
I know I'm shaped like a capital P. What are you shaped like?
So the next episode, this is when I still like Manila. The next episode, we had to do like a Jersey themed courtroom Judge Judy spoof skit moment. Manila and I were teamed up. I think I was a dog groomer, and Manila came in to get her hair cut with me, and I turned her into a poodle.
And when she came in smelling like a wet dog, I just said, let's get to work.
Michelle Visage was in there. I definitely remember Rue was on set this day, but he wasn't on camera until our exit things, but I think Rue was in like a bowl cut and a tracksuit, if I'm thinking correct.
Oh, okay.
To change, you filthy animal.
Oh, okay. All right, ladies, thank you very much. Thank you.
This was me really going for it. In my opinion, if I look back at a clip of this, this is me really trying to yes and, okay?
I know Naomi personally, and her playing this role is her really stepping out of her box.
I agree.
Because normally she talks in a very monotone voice and she's very soft-spoken. I feel like she was giving her 200%.
I think Naomi also did a very good job on the Jersey Justice episode. Okay, let me tell you something. Some inside tea. They took out so many of Naomi's jokes. She had those folders she wrote down. I mean, pages and pages of puns and jokes. She was spitting out fucking jokes like clockwork. Hilarious. And only 2 of them made the episode. I'm just saying.
I think this was filmed on a Friday, and we had the whole weekend to because we don't really film Drag Race on Saturday and Sunday unless it's pickup interviews or those boy shots. That's when we're filming those. We could only hang out with our people that we were in a group with. So you weren't talking to the other groups or the other teams. So the only person I could hang out with and go to the pool with and go on walks with during that weekend was Manila, because we had just done this challenge together. And we were just we were on a high of bitch, we fucking ate that. We ate that. We were both on top of the world. And I think we got to watch the other groups' Jersey courtroom skits from the workroom after we filmed. And after watching everybody else, everyone was just kind of a fucking mess. They were throwing punches at each other, and I think they were making out with each other, and just easy humor, not a well-written script like Manila and I had. We were just gassing each other up, bitch, we're the top 2, we're gonna go against each other, we got this. And it wasn't until the critique of this skit that I think they said like Manila outshone you or something.
You were not giving as much as Manila was giving?
Stepping off the stage, Manila being like, yeah, girl, I ate you up. And that's when it clicked for me. I don't like this bitch. I don't trust this bitch. And that just kind of like wrote the script for the rest of the season. On the runway, swerves and curves padded for the gods was the category that we were supposed to come prepared for. And when I heard curves and swerves, I didn't necessarily think like season S's. I thought body, because I am a girl that doesn't really ever wear body. I wear tits occasionally. I wear a corset, and that's about it. I've never really been a padded girl. I've only padded twice in my life, and they've both been on RuPaul's Drag Race. And this was the second time. The first time, I learned my lesson. No offense to JUDY and Raven, but they didn't give me an ass. They didn't, like, I looked really cute from the wide, like, but then I turned around and there was no fucking cheeks. So I knew that Layla McQueen's padding has always just been like top tier. So in Chicago, I had her make me like these like little like hockey pucks, or yeah, like a hockey puck pretty much. That was like, it gave me like full ass before I left for All Stars. I got housewife, and then I thought like, okay, well, if we're just gonna be a housewife, that's kind of boring, because I think that like everyone and their mom that does drag or has done a costume thinks like, oh, 50s, boop, beep, doop, boop, boop. And there just needed to be like some sort of edge, something to like take it there. And Beyonce, Why Don't You Love Me was definitely a reference for this, that I wanted to do like a broken housewife, a crying housewife, and to take it even further, like, I burnt the pie. I burnt the pie. Millie burnt the pie. It's very telling because I can't cook, and I have burnt 1,000,001 frozen pizzas in my life. So this just seems like I was method acting. I had Gabe create a prop for this runway. It was a scorched pie, and he rigged it so it had like a smoke machine that was actually inside of it. And the most annoying part about this, because we tested it, everything was perfect, but I was storing it in my hotel room until I like needed it, because I didn't necessarily want anyone to see the gags or props, or like, why is it any of their business until it's happening. But I remember I got home from filming one day before this, and the pie was like upside down on itself, and I think the maids or housekeeping came and was cleaning and like broke my pie, so I had to like glue it back together, and ever since then like the smoke just like wouldn't work. So there's some insider tea for you and why it didn't work. It was only fitting that being saved from elimination and no one going home, it was the theme Angelic White. Doodle always makes fun of me for this, because it's like, I have to make sure that I don't fit in. So if everybody hates something, I'm probably gonna love it. And if everyone loves something, I'm probably gonna hate it. And if everyone's listening to something, I'm gonna wait 6 months. Cowboy Carter. But I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't doing something that was like feathery and angelic, and try and take a unique spin to the theme. So I decided to do Prince. I grew up with my mom listening to Prince and thinking that he was like the hottest thing in the entire world, which is like, my mom loves to say that she's like a 70-year-old. Oh my God, is my mom 70? My mom is 76 years old, but she sends me photos of like Lenny Kravitz and Prince and Tom Holland. Is that the new Spider-Man, Tom Holland? Tom Holland. And she's like, it's her way of saying she's horny is like, I'm old, not dead. So this was like a cute moment to doing Prince on the runway. I knew that Ru was really gonna like Prince as well, to tie the worlds together of it being, you know, a reference, but also something special to me. I decided to pay homage to the Seinfeld puffy shirt, and that's what you get here. Dallas Coulter made this look. Natasha embellished it. And it's one of the few looks I've ever had in drag that is full white, because you are a crazy bitch when you wear white covered in brown foundation. This is a Rolling Stone inspiration magazine cover moment via Ricky and Gay Garb. And if you get into the details, you have to get into the details with all these like posts and moments, because it's so like unique to me. And I mean, even down to like the barcode and the All-Stars 4, January 11th, 2019, verse sequence revealed, essential tips on how to make it on top after being on the bottom, get confident. It's so unique, it's so special. I'm wearing rhinestone tears for When Doves Cry. I thought I was changing the game with my like extra dark lip line, so it could kind of be like a optical illusion for a mustache. Hey, it worked. But yeah, no one went home this episode, and I was so happy because I knew my roast was not cute.
Could you imagine being born in a time with no Nintendo 64?
Who else's look did I really like? It's okay to talk shit. I'm gonna talk some shit. I'll never forget standing on the runway, and it's like, you know, Valentina and me and Monet, and they get to Trinity, and Trinity is in this like angelic, it's like the most obvious take on it, but it's like expensive feathers and blah 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 blah, cool chiffon, whatever. But she's wearing this like, when I tell you, $4.99 wig with like exposed bobby pins to the fascinator out. And I remember Rue looking her dead in the face and going, "You are doing the highest form of drag right now." And Valentina and I just being like, "Girl, what the fuck?" That is definitely something I recall from this episode, and do not take as fact.
Allegedly. The lawyer lady up there in the booth is telling me to say allegedly.
This is the first Lollapalooza, I believe. This is the first time they ever did it. During my time, back in the day, we had to lip sync RuPaul songs. Like that was just what you had to do. So I was assigned via the luck of the Deal or No Deal suitcases. I was assigned Adrenaline, and I was so happy that I got Adrenaline. And I was so happy that I wasn't against Latrice Royale, because since Latrice was eliminated previously and she was coming back to do this little competition for a possible spot to rejoin the competition, I had a feeling like they really wanted this bitch back. I feel like that was kind of like the only reason they really did this. Latrice is kind of just like one of those like staples in Drag Race, and I feel like she's one of those queens that no matter what, they want to do right by her. So I just had a feeling like if I was gonna go against her, it was probably not gonna be good for me. I had this like kind of like spiral after we were getting ready, because she came back hot. Like Latrice came back into the workroom like pissed that Mo Hart sent her home, and because I'm a cunt and a bitch, and my way of humor is like by teasing people. She said something about like, when we were getting ready, like putting foundation on her stubble, or like some weird thing that I would never do. And I remember the comment I made was like, "Oh, did they teach you that in jail?"
Did they teach you that in jail too?
Oh my God.
Naomi.
She is being so shady.
And she did not find that funny. She did not find that funny one bit. And she was kind of like, "You shouldn't be talking all this shit when I could possibly choose your name and lip sync against you and send you home." So I was like, oh God, I hope it doesn't happen.
Oh, shady cunt.
I am wearing what I think is probably the public's image of me when they think of Naomi Smalls. It is the Bratz makeup and the rhinestone clips and the hair down to my ass and the fur and the leather, the creepy yeehaw, the open toe shoe. Yeah, this is like quintessential Naomi. I was performing in this for like years before All Stars, so it's funny that just wearing it on All Stars is when people finally woke the fuck up. I decided to do my leg scoot, my back bend. The back bend that I did on the show was definitely inspired by Sierra, back to 1-2 step. I did not intentionally hit the floor. Like the whenever I do a back bend, the point is to like go back and then spring back up. But I think that the weight of this hair and probably just like me not eating for the past 3 days to look this cunt in this outfit, like my head just fell to the floor. I've seen girls try to redo this move and some are successful, some are not successful, but hey, I feel honored that it has been a drag move since this lip sync. Honestly, Gia Gunn and I could have been the double Shantae of this episode, but they were really gunning for that big bitch to get back. And I felt bad for Gia because we were serving human hair bundles the house down, and the whole lip sync is, I think, it's just cunt. It's like, I'm trying not to say that word as often because it's just so annoying to say cunt. Well, like I don't know another word besides pussy that I would say that this lip sync was, and the gravitas that these girls really held on to. And I know that Gia wanted to stay and I wanted to stay, and Gia Gunn, you are so underrated. You're so like, people need to wake the fuck up and just get into the pureness. And not pure, she's not pure, she's actually evil, rotted cunt, but maybe that's why I like her, because there's a part of me that is also.
Okay, pussy, 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 love her.
I've definitely seen a lot of baby queen / AliExpress versions of this look, and I think it just probably, it evokes just how iconic Miss Creepy Yeeha's work is. She does it right, and if you are being duplicated, you are only doing it right. Okay, so when I say Club 96, I really should just rename it as the only club you fucking remember. Am I right? From the club episode, I believe working with Valentina and doing Club 96 is, I'm pretty sure people today are like, oh, that didn't win. And honestly, the fact that they recreated it for DragCon and they have done multiple seasons where they've tried to have like the same similar type of moment just tells you that these hoes were playing in my face. And it's okay, because I know that, you know that, we all know that. Working with Valentina for this was so much fun. I am wearing her look that she came prepared with. I am the one that wrote a lot of the script for Club 96, and that's not a flex because obviously I didn't do well, but it's just a fact. And I remember in the interview chair after filming this, they wanted me to say like negative things about Valentina, but Valentina is someone that I just hold at like a different pedestal, a different caliber than like a lot of drag race queens. And the fact that I met Valentina before I was casted on Drag Race, I actually met her at the 2015 first ever RuPaul's Drag Con. I had auditioned for Drag Race season 8, but I hadn't heard anything yet, and I was just kind of like stumbling around in my nasty synthetic gray wig to my ass and a corset from Amazon that did not fit me and a Stina bodysuit that I forced her to make me and some pleaser 8-inch heels, and I think I had like a necklace glued to my forehead as like a bindi / hair ornament moment. Girl, whatever. But I looked across the convention center and I saw this like vision in this strawberry coppery moment Marcel wig, caped emerald green pantsuit, looking snatched and amazing, and lo and behold, it was the one, the only, all about Valentina. She has always been nothing but a peach and a gem to me, so I only have amazing things to say about her and my process doing Club 96 with her. It's honestly so stupid that we were sent home, or we were in the bottom for this one, and I can confidently say, haters, all of you. It's kind of crazy that like All Stars 4 and season 8 had a similar storyline. Like, I was in the bottom, and then I really need to get into the top and get a win finally. And somehow the makeover just kind of lined up for both of them. I think there's like a small group of girls that have won the makeover on both seasons, and I will hold that little trophy. Being on Drag Race, you are like secluded from your day-to-day life, and you're not surrounded by your friends, and you don't have your phone, and you don't have like contact to the outside world. So once we were told that the category and the theme for makeovers was your best Judy and our best friends were gonna come in, it was so refreshing to have Ricardo walk through those doors.
Click my heels 3 times and I'm here.
And it's just like a small glimpse of home, and a small glimpse of calm, and a small glimpse of like, bitch, what's in these painted brick pink workroom walls is not that deep. It's not that real. There's a world outside beyond this, and beyond Michelle Visage reading you, that loves you and cares for you and knows you are that bitch. So being able to do Ricardo's makeup for this and put them in drag. Him?
Sure.
Okay. Oh yeah, the double connection. It was my best Judy, which tied into like Scarecrow, which tied into like Wizard of Oz theme, which tied in. Everything goes back to Judy Garland. Is this my camera? Which one's my camera?
Now that we're at the midway point, is that my camera?
For makeovers now, these days on RuPaul's Drag Race, you didn't have to create the look. So as a viewer, I'll talk shit about that. But as a competitor, thank fucking God. Holy shit. I did not know if I had it in me to create a look at this time. But I came prepared with these like ruffly pastel looks. I had one created that was like a little bit more universal, and then I had like an outfit that I had already worn to DragCon in the past, and I just knew what we had prepared was a little too safe. Something that I learned from Scarecrow, and something that I just was feeling in the room, is I couldn't do something safe and predictable. Yes, the category was family resemblance, but like I wanted to do wife and husband, and one of the iconic wife and husband storylines, and a Cher look I had already brought with me, is Sunny and Cher. And it wouldn't have been cute to put Ricardo, who is a bearded man. I could have just shaved his beard and kept his mustache and done an eye and put a bowl cut on Ricardo. But I don't think that when you're putting somebody in drag for the first time, they need to feel pussy. They need to feel like a woman. They need to shave. They need to shave. There, I said it. I don't want to see a bearded first timer in drag. Like, I don't care, you know? Like, if you live your life every day with a beard, shave it off and see what's cooking under there. Because I said it on the show, and I'll say it again. Facial hair can really be like someone's cosmetics in a way.
Men hide behind beards like women hide behind makeup.
So we shaved Ricardo up. I've always known Ricardo with facial hair. It's very rarely that I've ever seen you without, right? And Ricardo was such a good sport that he shaved the tail of his eyebrows off for me. And thank God, opened up so much eye space. I think we taped you up.
I thank you for that. My eyes are still the same.
It's a lifestyle switch. I just went with my gut and knew I needed to like wow them. So the plan was to come out as both Chers, and then I revealed to Sunny. And I think it actually went really well, surprisingly, because knowing me, I take forever to get ready, but I take even longer to paint somebody else's face because I'm just not familiar with it, you know? Doing someone else's makeup, you're just like, you're learning their bone structure as you're applying the makeup. as much as you can stare at a picture of them or like you know them for so long, you just are figuring it out as you go. We got Ricardo in contacts, shaved eyebrows, lashes. Ricardo actually wears glasses and contacts always, so like it was like a contact on top of another contact. Such a good sport. This is my share look, and I think we corseted you, and then it was tights all the way up like past the corset, and then safety pinned the tights into the corset, and then the top that we safety pinned onto like to the corset / tights, and then also the pants. And then I think I wanted Ricardo to wear my heels, but they were too large because I'm like an 8 and you're like a 6. But I knew I wanted to do this share look. I feel like this is like one of my favorite share moments, even down to like the nail color, the nail shape. And Sunny is the only time I can look back at a photo and be like, I'm happy I didn't wear an earring. But if you look closely, I am wearing nails, and that is drag. Okay, so I finally got to be in the top 2. When I signed up for All Stars, I signed up to play the game. And when I mean play the game, I really just mean like have my best interest at heart. I don't think that sending home a strong competitor is necessarily the reason I sent Manila home. I just sent Manila home because I didn't trust her. There was something about lip syncing this day. I think it's a gag to most people, but like this is the song I wanted on the list. I wanted Into You, Ariana Grande, because pussy. And then I wanted Judy Garland, Come Rain or Come Shine, because of drama. And you can just do so much with the lyrics and the mannerisms and the like, it's just iconic. Like Judy is fucking cracked out. So just go full throttle. I borrowed this look from Detox, and I think after she saw me performing this on All Stars, she was like, keep it. I'm wearing Kim's wig, actually, like a wig that was just like in the bottom of a wig box that Kim had, and we sprayed her into shape. But I don't know what it was about this look that to me screamed Come Rain or Come Shine, but I think it just was like fate in that moment and it worked. The funny thing about this look, I've talked about this before, but never in this sort of medium, was that RuPaul, being that cunty, shady bitch she is, she was like, you couldn't have used a steamer on that dress? And honestly, that was so cut! And bitch, you ate that. You fucking ate that, because yes, it was wrinkly. But hey, I had like 10 minutes to get ready, wig included. So kiss my ass. But I feel like this is an iconic moment for Drag Race history. And it is just kind of like a universal sign language for like, bitch, you're out. No matter who you are, you're out. I'm sending you home and I'm not sorry about it. And something you should know about life, life's not fair. Get used to it. Drag, All Stars, and Life's Not Fair. Sex and the Kitty girl. I am a diehard Sex and the City fan. I like to think I'm kind of all of them, but I feel like people would probably say I am a Carrie. Yeah, Christina, what would you say? A Carrie? See,
You're Charlotte. It's really desperate.
I'm saying you're less desperate.
It's a compliment.
I like to think I am a mix of all of them. I wish I was more Samantha. I wish I was also more Miranda, because that's a strong ass bitch. I'm not that strong. I am a weak, desperate girl like Carrie.
You have to forgive me.
I feel like the world just revolves around me like Carrie. And I'm obsessed with shoes that I truly cannot afford, like Carrie.
Hello, lover.
But I do think there's a little bit of me that is Charlotte. Like, I think that there's some things that the gay community is about that I'm like, ooh, I'm a little bit more Charlotte than that. But doing Sex and the Kitty Girl, you know what? I thought I ate it, but looking back at it, I did not eat it. And it's okay. It's okay. But I went into it confidently, and since I won the previous episode, I got to assign the roles, and I saw that Carrie had the most lines, and in the world of Drag Race, the more screen time, the better. I feel like that's just kind of like the way it normally works out, unless you're just like this like weird cameo, like Mo Hart. Mo Hart is doing Kristen Johnson, and she's standing at the window, smoking a cigarette, cracking the window that she's absolutely not supposed to be doing, and just reading the entire party, saying that they're so fucking boring and stuffy and uptight, and they're Judith Lieber bags, and she's like, New York is over. O-V-E-R, over.
No one's fun anymore. Whatever happened to fun? God, I'm so bored I could die. Whoa.
And then she falls to her death. Iconic. Definitely my brain did not go to that character because I wanted to be part of the main crew, not a friend of. I wanted my peach. So I didn't think to be her, but I fully, like, at this point in the competition, since I had already won something, or I finally won something, that I was like, I will do whatever it takes to get another win so I can kind of be like neck to neck with these bitches that they were gassing up. So I was like, oh, if we need a pie to the face, I'll take it. I'll sacrifice this costume. I wish I knew who made this costume, but dear God, it was like one of those like Instagram DM moments that just like, I liked the look and they ended up sending it to me, and then me like re-upping it and da 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 da. This pink look now belongs to Derek Barry. It's just a look that I wore in Vegas once and she wanted it, so girl, take it. Yeah, this clown look that I got pie in the face and I got pie on the costume, and it did not come home with me. If you know me, I'm not a cat person. There's a couple cats in this lifetime that I have fell in love with. Shout out to Bub, shout out to Frasier. This was my take on Kitty Couture. I felt like everyone was gonna go like Catwoman or, I don't know, leopard on leopard on leopard. So just to make sure I don't fit in, I had to do something that was like maybe a little bit like cooler take on it. And I had Ida Birthing create this like full look out of yarn. She posed and she did her little like closed eyes, sweet eyes. I don't really know what much else to say about this look on the runway because I kind of blacked it out. I knew that I was not in the top, and at this point in the competition, if you weren't in the top, you're in the bottom. So I was just kind of prepared for the slew of mess from the panel. And yeah, I didn't go home this episode. It was Latrice who went home. And I remember in the like deliberation where we had to like pick me, whatever, pick me, choose me, all that shit. I was not. I would have been okay if I would not have been okay if I went home that day, but I would have been like, okay, whatever. Like, we did it. We did our thing. Yeah, I wasn't sent home. Latrice was, and I think my favorite shot from this episode is like me just saying, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I don't give a fuck.
I honestly don't give a fuck. Back to being, well, I was hoping we would be music video hoes again, because after season 8 and I think just season 8, yeah, I think season 8 was like my only taste of being like a little music video whore. I was comfortable with doing that, but no. We had to have Todrick Hall come in and choreograph this live performance to not Super Queen. Is that what it's called? Super Queen. She's a super queen. Which was our runway song the entire season. but for some reason they did like a country rock version of Super Queen that we had to perform to. So annoying. I don't know why they had to do that, because that version kind of sucked. They had Alaska, Trad, and Trixie come in and do like this like live band moment on stage. And it's supposed to be like the country version. I don't know if that's why they did that, but it was so, the payoff was not there. We were supposed to bring Super Queen, superhero, and looks. And this look is inspired by, because when I got the call for All Stars 4, I was actually in Brazil. I was kind of concocting like the themes and like trying to get my inspirations together. And I remember Natasha and I were just like out shopping for sunglasses one day. And there was like this like 9-foot statue of this Aeon Flux type looking superhero anime character. And I just like took a photo of it, sent it to a designer, and this is what they came up with. This is like one of my first human units ever. It's, I think, maybe one of few human moments that Wigs and Grace has done, or at least up until this point. And it looked a mess because it was styled like 4 weeks previous to me actually performing in it. And the thing with human is you legit have to style it like moments before it's worn practically. So this is the wig that now belongs to Roxy Andrews because she loved it so much. So I was like, girl, it's yours. Yeah, Super Queen. I hated it. And I had the shortest verse. I don't remember my lyrics, but I do remember Bob recapping this episode. And I just wish I had like a burner phone or something, because if I had it, I would have just texted Bob and been like, what should I do? For every challenge, pretty much, because Bob is like, she knows Drag Race. She knows Drag Race better than they know Drag Race. Her suggestion for this would have been, since it was such a short verse, instead of like packing all these lyrics into it, just would have had it just been like, I have long legs. She's a super queen.
Our verses were so short. Naomi's was literally a sentence.
Them was like, she has legs for, she's a super queen. I was like, damn. She has legs for, she's a super queen. Rising to the top. Ah, that is so accurate.
That would have been it. That would have been it. Bob, you're always right. I remember getting the choreography for this, and it was like so complicated for me because I'm not really a choreo girl, like especially when I fucking hate the song. It's just like hard for me to like match the two in my head and like make it make sense. That I remember there was a moment like I had to like go behind a corner and like I was like tearing up. I was so frustrated. I've just always been that person, like if I can't get it and I don't understand it, I get like kind of emotional about it. But it's been like years since that's happened. It was like Algebra 2 the last time that happened. So it definitely shocked me that Todrick Hall got me crying. I have long legs. She's a super queen. So here we have my All Stars 4 finale. I just really wanted to stay long enough. I never unpacked this look. It just like sat in the bottom of a Tupperware, the skirt part at least. Because it was so heavy, I didn't want to put it on a hanger. I also didn't want the other girls to like get into it and be like, ooh, what's this for? But Monet knows, like, once I knew I wasn't gonna win, I just wanted to wear this outfit because a lot of time went into this. And now when they do the finale, a lot of the times they have like the girls come back and wear like what they would have worn for finale. Back in my day, they didn't do that. So I just really wanted to make it to the end so I could like have this moment and all the people that worked on this like be able to see it on like the stage lights and on television. And it looked so great. It's a Galliano reference-ish, but Naomi Smalzified with a skirt reveal. I've said this before, it's an outfit I don't think I would ever wear again, but I can stand by it and know like the time, way I felt in it. And I don't know exactly why I took it to the Oh, I do know why. It was actually a Lady Gaga reference. It was a Gaga reference for Vanity Fair, which, if you know me, I was getting in fights in high school about Lady Gaga. Like, I am a little monster. I'm retired at this point, but I was avid. And I just remember this, like, Vanity Fair cover of her looking grand in a laundromat because, you know, she's a New York girl. And I was not a New York girl. I was in Chicago. So I found this, like, laundromat that had, like, orange walls. And I was like, oh, this could be kind of, like, complimentary and cool and a pop of color and make it seem, like, so, like, deconstructed. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's not that serious, but it's my finale and I should give a fuck. But it was a vibe. I loved my finale look. I'm so happy I got to wear it. I hated that I didn't just keep this on the entire episode. I ended up changing for the lip sync because, yes, I knew I didn't win, but when you're on Drag Race, your brain just doesn't think clearly. Like, you're like, oh, well, just maybe there's gonna be a twist, or maybe da-da-da-da-da. And there was a twist, but it did not involve me. This is said outfit that I wore for the final lip sync. But this look I performed Disco Tits by Tuvelu, but I didn't necessarily need to wear it for this episode. I should have worn my Acna beaded two-piece Naomi Campbell recreation, or just stayed in my All Stars 4 look. But we live, we learn, and years later, we get to sit down and break down the tea for you. That was all my looks from RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 4. It is wild to be a 30-year-old man now, looking back at when I was a 25-year-old queen who really thought she knew everything she was doing. And girl, I'm still learning. I'm still part of this. And I felt it would be fitting for a review. So if you want to see the entire book of All Stars and then some, tune into patreon.com/Naomi Smalls, and I'll see you next time to get into, I'm sure, some other nonsense, mess, and the delusion craziness that is long-legged, somewhat of a high fashion hood rat, but not really, Naomi Smalls.